When I first started smoking cigars, I had a lot of questions on how to smoke, when to smoke, what should I smoke, what's good for me. But the biggest thing that people don't understand is it's a lot of them. And it's not about what somebody else likes, it's what you like. This is the El Santimo right here. It's royalty, it's purple, it's gold. It's got an opportunity to be a very high-end cigar. Just like my guest right here. Dino.
What's that, Mr.
Appreciate you having us here, man. We're going to talk
brother.
business. We're going to talk black business. We're going to make sure that everybody understands how to smoke, when to smoke, what to drink, all that other stuff, man. Let's do it. Welcome to the Humidor.
Who want the smoke?
We don't smoke cigars from the corner store like to welcome you to the Humidor.
Who want the smoke?
We don't smoke cigars from the corner store like to welcome you to the Humidor, right?
Who want the smoke?
We don't smoke cigars from the corner store like to welcome you to the Humidor.
I can do this easy with a blindfold. My cigar look like a pine cone. Sitting back on my iPhone, smoking out in my time zone. Put the Patron and I'm ready to smoke. Patakas in action, I'm doing the most. The floor at the minute, I feel like the GOAT. Door for one day, I'm back in the boat. Watching the Humidor, that is the show. Walking my lighter, I'm ready to blow. Grabbing my crew and I'm ready to go. Look at my diamond crown, I got the glow. I'm giving them wisdom, I'm giving them knowledge. Give me a minute, I'll open my wallet. Cut the cigar and I'll smoke like a challenge. You watching the Humidor, what's that just symbolic?
We don't smoke cigars from the corner store like to welcome you to the Humidor.
The lights don't get brighter in Las Vegas, Nevada. I mean, really bright. We are in Chocolate City right now, home of El Santimo. Now, I know it's skyrocketing, but I brought the general manager in here, also the vice president of the Black Agenda.
The Black Agenda is a consortium of local leaders and influencers, politicians, billionaires, you know what I'm saying, that's dedicated to bringing economical inclusion and growth to the Black community. You know, so we're spearheading that to let folks know that we're here. We're no longer talking. You know what I'm saying? We talked for a long time. Matter of fact, our ancestors talked. That's why we give praise and reverence to Marcus Garvey's, Martin Luther King's, Malcolm X, Jesse Jackson, Ron Brown's, Al Sharpton's, you know what I'm saying, for all the work that these guys put in, for us to be in a place to be a bold and stand unapologetically and say, you know what, it's time to be black and it's all right.
You talked about your ancestors. Let's take it back.
Yeah.
Born and raised New Orleans.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about that experience right
you
there.
Heard me?
Yeah,
wow.
man. Yeah, let's talk about that. How was it growing up in there?
Man, look, it was a blessing. New Orleans, I tell folks, it's a different planet. It's Mars. Not only that, I call it a third world country right within the United States.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Reason being is it's a small land. It's surrounded by water. You know what I'm saying? Mississippi River, Pontchartrain Beach, Gulf of Mexico. That's why it's such an economic port hub, you know what I'm saying, of culture also. But the main part about it is it's the Big Easy. The reason why they call it the Big Easy is because even though tourism is our main economic benefit there, you know what I'm saying? So there's really was nothing there, no big buildings or anything like corporate America. It was just tourism. So what you do is, I didn't meet any poor people in New Orleans. Ever since I came out the womb, I didn't learn how to beg, you know what I'm saying? I learned how to ask to do a duty so I can get what I needed done, you know? So, and my culture in New Orleans instilled that in me and instilled in people to this day. I mean, that's why, other than Las Vegas, it's the second most tour city in the United States. You know what I'm saying? You got Vegas and you got New Orleans. That's because of the people, man.
As a kid, you know, growing up in New Orleans, you got not only entertainment side, the food side, the culture side, the heritage. What are the influences that you saw as a kid growing up in New Orleans?
Grinding. Don't ask nobody for nothing that you can get yourself. Yeah. That's the culture I came up under. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about later and what happened with the crack epidemic came in and it blurred all that, and we just took those skills and brought it to something else that was 10x and the money. But you know what I'm saying? When you talk about New Orleans, everybody has something to do. Everybody has something to do. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know you're part of the family. If you're a part of somebody's tribe, you know what I'm saying, and you're sitting around and you're not doing anything, then you're not really part of that tribe.
Wow. Wow. Talk about family, you have the food.
Oh my goodness.
You know, give me some New Orleans food, or is it New Orleans or New Orleans, or you know?
I don't know. Whatever I say out my mouth, you know what I'm saying. You take the pronunciation. I think I'm saying New Orleans. You know what I'm saying. Most folks say New Orleans, you know what I'm saying. But born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. So Yeah, no, listen.
Give me that New Orleans meal, that New Orleans meal that you like, man, I gotta have.
It's even deeper than that, though. You know what I'm saying? Even talking about men out the South, and a lot of folks don't understand this, but when you talk about New Orleans, most of the cooks that come out of New Orleans are not women; they're men.
Yeah.
Most of the people that cook out in New Orleans, the best cooks. I love my grandmother cooking and all this other stuff, but the best cooks are men. You know, and that's part of our culture because what we did was we used cooking as a sport.
No, do you dabble in the sport of cooking?
Oh, of course.
Yes.
I mean, if you're a real man in New Orleans, you gotta know how to cook. That's how we know if you're a real man.
Man, that's
you know what I'm saying? Even if it's, you know what I'm saying, you know how to open up some blue runners and rice, you still gotta know how to do it at the stove.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it's a sport, you know what I'm saying? So in doing that, that's why the food tastes so good, because not only is we using it as competition, but there's an aspect of love there. Because we want you to love what we're doing. That's New Orleans,
keep
man.
on that with that whole melting pot of cultures and people and races all mixed together working as one.
Yes,
that's something that you guys are really focusing on business-wise to try to keep that nucleus. Talk about that.
That's correct. Like I said, that's part of, like I said, the main part of the Black agenda. You know what I'm saying? Black, we don't feel like, Black is not unpowerful. It's just unorganized.
Wow. Say that again for the people in the back.
You know what I'm saying? Black is not unpowerful. We're the most powerful beings on the planet. We're just unorganized.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just like coming from a basketball team. You know what I'm saying? You can have all the greatest talent on the team.
Yes, sir.
But if it's unorganized, they ain't got no structure, no order, you ain't winning nothing. That's the macro, but we're doing the micro every day. Let's just take the micro and continue doing the micro. Like I can tell a lot of my mentees, what's the first way you do that, D? I say the first way you do, you got to understand that you live in moments. We live for moments.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, it's the moments that we don't take advantage of, and relationships get distorted. Man, could you did that for me? You know what I'm saying? It would took 5 minutes, but you had 50 more 5-minute moments. You know what I'm saying? Trying not to do that moment.
Yeah.
So I tell folks all the time, man, live for the moments that has a positive effect on other person's life.
Grassroots from there, and then you migrated. Where did you migrate after that?
Alabama was my next stop. You know what I'm saying? Which was which was I love Alabama. You know what I'm saying? And this everything that I say in my life, I recognize. You know what I'm saying, that this is a God mission.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only way that I can say. I jumped off the porch at 13, said I can get this done. Why? Because of G-O-D, God, guider of direction. That thought process told me, okay, this is what you can do. Or you're going to follow my directions to get there.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it. And I'm talking all this stuff, but really, this is everything that I've learned living and growing in New Orleans.
Wow.
You got to be spiritually attached to everything. We ain't unpowerful, man. We're the most powerful being. We are unorganized. So what we do is we take all those moments, things that we think are insignificant, you know what I'm saying, take those moments and execute on those moments, because you know this is something. If I didn't ask you to do something, I didn't think that you could do it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I could have called 100 freaking people, said, but if I say, you know what, boom, I'm calling Cedric Sabalas first, because I got full confidence that whatever I need done, said could do it, and not only can he do it, he can do it in a moment.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
Take you 30 seconds, hung up the phone, and you just changed somebody's life forever.
This wonderful thing, these sticks, man, are just beautiful. Now that you have portrayed a wonderful business here with that. Talk about your first experience in smoking cigars. Man.
Oh, man. Really smoking a cigar? First time I smoked a cigar, like all of us, we don't know. And that's why I got into this culture. God told me I got into this culture. Because just think about it. People love two things that people love the most. Just being a human being. There's two things that you want. You want love to be shown to you, and you want to be acknowledged. That's the truth. I don't give a doggone what anybody, how bad they are, how good they are. You want to get straight to the point and get to somebody's heart, find a way to love them, acknowledge them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So in saying that, most of the time we acknowledge people is a celebrative event, right?
Yes.
So let's just think about it. Saying you being an ex-ball player, high-level ball player, you know what I'm saying? Anytime that you wanted to celebrate, you know what I'm saying, your hands weren't free.
Something was in it.
Something was in it.
Yeah.
You either had a drink in one hand, and what was in the other hand? A cigar.
Yeah,
so no matter if it was a baby being born, you know what I'm saying, you win in the lottery, you buy your first car, this is what you said, I'm going to express my success with a drink and a cigar.
Yeah, it's funny because, you know, the champions that I saw as a kid, you know, I obviously started with Red Auerbach, He started smoking after they won in the championship in Boston, right then and there,
Right.
on the bench.
On the bench.
Even though
Ray
there was no
was
smoking in the
gangster.
building, he's so gangster with it.
He was gangster.
I'm going for it.
Right.
And then obviously Michael Jordan moved it on, and then it just kept going with that. My first experience with cigars, I had an uncle, my Uncle Smitty, always smoked a cigar around the house, coming home from work. I always was curious about it and intrigued about it, and which a lot of people out there are. Give me some do's and don'ts about smoking, man.
I tell you this, going back to that, because on that note, I smoked cigars a long time before I really learned about cigar culture. It was my Cuban brother. His name is Luis Ruiz. I met him in my journey going through California. Thank you, God. You know what I'm saying? And I remember the first time we talked. I ain't gonna go through the whole story, but he was like, "You ever smoke Cuban cigars?" You know, you got this his Cuban. I'm like, nah. At that point in time, I thought I did smoke a Cuban. So I'm like, Cuban's overrated, man. I don't really care nothing about that. He said, well, the next time I see you, I got a cigar for you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right. I remember the first cigar he bought me was a Triple T Trinidad. You know what I'm saying?
Triple T Trinidad.
Yeah, Triple T Trinidad Fundadores. You know what I'm saying? I lit the cigar up, said, you know what I'm saying? Which was rule number one. You find out you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And people culture know if you're a trend or if you're culture folks. So he let me light the cigar up. So I lit this joke up. I'm talking about from the light. I'm inhaling. I'm like, oh my God, what is this?
It's hidden.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
And then the aroma at the same time, and like I'm tasting the smoke, I'm smelling. So I take the cigar out of my mouth and I go to him and say, Luis, he like, shh, just smoke. I'm about 30 minutes in, said, I'm in love. And the thing about, you know what cigars do? They make you want to talk.
You want to talk. That's the great thing about it.
They make you want to talk.
Yes, sir.
So 30 minutes in, because before the door is, you know what I'm saying, it's a small stick, but you know what I'm saying, it's about 6 inches.
Okay.
And I take the cigar out again. I'm like, man, such and such. Shh. Just smoke. So I finished, we didn't talk for an hour.
Wow.
1 hour, we didn't say one word except when I was trying to make the conversation. Only thing he told me was, shh, just smoke.
Just enjoying the stick.
After I finished that cigar, put it out, he said, what you say about Cubans now? I said, I'll never make that statement ever again.
Wow.
So not only that, but that was my first real experience. It was over 15 years ago, having a real cigar experience, being taught by somebody that knew about cigars. And like I said, the same thing, people find out if they like you or not. And from there, the Ruiz family, you know what I'm saying, they took me in. And not only they took me in, it was because they always used to have cigars, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, can I bring my buddy? Bring my buddies. They're like, nah, just come over here. This is their this is their economy.
Yes.
Cigars and rum. There is nothing else. You know what I'm saying? So taking this culture serious to them is serious.
Yeah.
So I seen that as love, as them not just giving me cigars and let me go out. They cultivated our relationship on it. It was a 3-year journey that they taught me cigars. It got to the point where we would play a game. And they have cigars on the table. And you had to smoke the cigar, no label, but you had to tell them what the cigar was.
Wow.
This is how I learned cigars.
Wow. So somebody's coming into your establishment now and aversions to the opportunity to smoke them. How would you suggest them to get involved or their first experience with cigars?
You want me to tell the business answer or the love answer?
The love answer, because that's how, love gonna bring the business.
Right.
The business gonna bring the love. So let's bring the love in first.
This one thing, when you find out about the culture, being in the cigar culture, serious in the cigar culture, it's about 10 years ago, it started taking off, especially with us, you know what I'm saying, our ethnicity. And, we're entertainers, you know what I'm saying? And it's all about the gram, you know what I'm saying? It's all about the shot. So what started happening is you started getting more trenders than culture smokers, you know what I'm saying? People not really smoking tobacco because they want to smoke tobacco. They were smoking labels.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
So I understand.
So it's just like going to the gym or playing basketball or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can go in there and pick up 250 pounds, but if you don't have the right technique, you know what I'm saying, it's not going to do anything. It's the same thing with cigars. Because the cigar experience is a 3-part formula. Your nose, your tongue, and your mind.
Okay.
That's what this experience is for. Nothing else. Your nose, your tongue, and your mind. So not to get too far off, if somebody really wants to find out how to correctly smoke a cigar, to get the right effect off of it, most of the time, like I said, if we know that it's about nose, tongue, mind, I want people that got to smell good to them, then they got to taste good to them. You know what I'm saying? So when the smoke do hit them, they can still have a nice nicotine conversation.
Yes.
So you ain't gonna do that with something that's harsh. So that's why we have our sweet wall. You know what I'm saying? Our infused wall. Learn the technique of smoking, because you're gonna mess up.
Yeah.
But if you mess up, you know what I'm saying, at least with an infused, you know what I'm saying, it tastes like chocolate, it tastes like honey, and you won't give up on the culture.
That's right.
So that's what I would do for somebody that's brand new.
Yeah, and those experienced smokers, you know, they tend not to dabble out or try to run from their particular brand or style.
Which is awesome. That's what you're supposed to do. Remember, this is your experience. I tell folks all the time, man, being in cigar, this is for you.
Yeah.
I like Popeye's chicken. I know you like Popeye's chicken, right? You know what I'm saying? I use Popeye's. I use things I love. You know what I'm saying? We got the same palate. We could both order a 2-piece white spicy red beans and rice and a biscuit. But you know, because our tongues are different, we're gonna have different experiences, but we eat the same chicken.
Yes, sir.
So are we gonna argue about, okay, man, well, I taste this on the chicken. You taste what you taste.
Yeah.
That's why I tell folks with cigars, you know what I'm saying?
So you shouldn't give up. Like, even if you had a bad experience with a cigar, that might have been that time, that communication, that conversation,
all that
didn't put the right mood. But you got to find your spot.
It can get as deep as the cologne you wear.
Wow. That influences.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
because most folks, they like I said, they like to pair it with alcohol. I don't drink. I don't smoke cigars with alcohol.
Yeah.
I smoke with water. Yeah. Why? Because I want to taste the smoke. And I don't want it blended. I don't want a gumbo. Usually when I have alcohol, I'm coating my tongue with sugar, you know what I'm saying? Because I want the smoke to blend whatever the taste is on my sugar. But if you smoking fine tobacco, it's just like going to Root Chris or going to Scissors. You go to Scissors, yeah, give me A1. But if you go to Root Chris, you know what I'm saying? Nah, don't put no sauce on that stuff.
Yeah, put that in perspective. Put that in perspective too. The cognacs, the bourbons, the alcohol that comes along with some people who like to dibble dabble in the cigars. Is that an enhancer? Is sometimes it's a take away from actually, but it also depends on the person.
Depends on the person.
Depends on the person.
Yeah, if a cigar is supposed to enhance. Remember, it's celebratory.
Yeah.
It's supposed to enhance anything. So if you're drinking, you know what I'm saying, you smoke a cigar behind, the cigar is just supposed to enhance whatever you were doing. Not, okay, man, but so what you're doing is, you know what the ingredients are. That's why we say mild, medium, full body. That's just the blanket of it. But we know one thing, whenever you drinking alcohol, you know what I'm saying, your palate is getting coated with sugar.
Yeah.
It's just how much sugar, how thick the sugar is on your tongue so the smoke can penetrate through.
Not a lot of instruction there, but it's also a lot of knowledge there. So
yeah.
Be right back. We're going to get into the business of cigars.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Humidor.
Who want the smoke?
We don't smoke cigars from the corner store like to welcome you to the Humidor.
Who want the smoke?
We don't smoke cigars from the corner store like to welcome you to the Humidor, right?
Who want the smoke?
We don't smoke cigars from